There's a guy that I've been wanting to interview for such a long time, and you can kind of see him right here. It's the BlackGuy WhiteViolin. It's kind of an urban legend, but I've seen him around so many times, and I always wanted to talk to him. Let's get this interview going.
Here's to the ones that we got. Cheers to the wish you were here, but you're not. Doesn't change me back on memories of everything we've been through. Toast to the ones that are back. Toast to the ones that we lost in the way. Doesn't change me back on memories. Memories bring back, memories bring back. There's a time that I remember, and I did not know the way. Will I believe in forever? Everything stay the same. Never love you like December. When somebody said me, nothing we shall be born. Everybody hurts sometimes. Everybody hurts someday. Everything will be alright. Who is it possible to say? Here's to the one that we got. Cheers to the wish you were here tonight. 'Cause it just memories of everything we've been through. Toast to the ones that are there. Toast to the day that we lost on the way. 'Cause it just memories of memories bring back, memories bring back. There's a time that I remember when I never felt so long. And I felt like the answer to my side. And my heart feel like a number, and it's not another die. How you do just another time. Everybody hurts sometimes. Everybody hurts sometimes. Everything will be alright. Good as a person said. Here's to the one that we got. Cheers to the wish you were here tonight. 'Cause it just back over memories of everything we've been through. Toast to the one that I got. Toast to the one that we got. 'Cause it just
So I know you as the BlackGuy WhiteViolin. That's all I know you as. We met once before at Springfest. Let's back up. We talked a little bit off camera about what got you into this, but tell the audience, because so many people think that you're homeless, but you're obviously not. And one guy was telling that I was interviewing you today. And I was like, some people think he's homeless. He's like, homeless people don't play violin.
They can.
Maybe a simpler instrument. Violin maybe is actually skill.
Some more weather friendly too. That's probably what they would. If I was homeless, I'd probably be playing like a trumpet. Still be playing trumpet because you can put that in water, just shake it off, and you're kind of good. So.
Tell me about yourself. You're an urban legend. I was telling you, you're an urban legend.
Capital.
Urban legend. Tell me. Who is Marcus?
All right, so I started at least a musical journey. I lived in Tampa. I was born and raised in Tampa. I came up here for pre-K at Wadsworth, then went back to Tampa for all the other years of school. And I would come here every summer or so. My grandparents live up here, and my dad and my mom live in Tampa. I started music at Young Middle Magnet for the, I don't know what it's for now. It's probably a STEM school, like full on science, technology, engineering, math. But it was math, science, and technology at the time. STEM wasn't like an acronym quite yet. It was middle school. It was not the best time to have to dress out and all showers. Not the best time to do that. So I was like, no matter what, I'm not getting PE. They sent us through what they call the wheel, which is for you to try all the electives. And I like band and orchestra. I like the music classes. I chose them as my first and second choice, and second and first choice for the after that. And the teachers loved me. They thought I was pretty talented at just those 15 days that we did each class. I think everyone knew each other. I got into trumpet and viola at first because my brother played a viola for a little bit when he was in school, and I wanted to see what it was like. I stayed with trumpet for several years. I ended up going to Blake High for the performing arts. I had to try out to get to there. I got in for trumpet, not for viola. I was gonna double major, but that didn't happen. I know it would. I would wonder what it would be like if I had stayed with viola and even moved to violin earlier. After high school, I wasn't really playing the trumpet anymore. I wasn't really playing viola anymore. I went and just bought one. Just bought a viola. I kept playing on, figuring out songs, and then I started to get a little bit better. And then that's when the day that you kind of know this story. That's when the day happened where, because I used to keep it with me when I would go to work, so that if I'm on break, I just practice for a little bit or something. And I was I was living in Temple Terrace. I don't know if you know exactly where it is.
No.
You just look it up on a map. It's the outskirt of Tampa. It's a little nicer. But I was living in Temple Terrace and busing something like 3 hours each way to TIA just to work at the Burger King there. And then I was, so it's 6 hours of travel, 5 hours of work. So it wasn't really equating. Well, I said cheap. It's not cheap. It's not Uber, but it's not cheap. And the bus driver at the 34 says, "Oh, if you run, you might be able to make it," because we saw that the 14 was kind of, and it stopped and was kind of making its way to that red light. And I'm like, nah, I feel like I'm gonna get hit by a car coming the other way. So like I'm just gonna wait the hour to have my viola with me. I started playing. I sat down for a little bit before I started playing. And I'm here. I might as well. I don't think it's gonna hurt. Started playing "Hallelujah" by Rufus Wainwright. Oh wow! The song from Shrek. Yeah, I like that. And this lady just gave me $5 and said, I love that song. It's like my favorite song. It sounded amazing. And then in the 30 or so minutes that I played, if it had been an hour, would have been like 4 times what I was making at Burger King. So I was like, it's the same money, just more of it in less time. I'm like, that makes a little more sense there.
So let me understand right. In the 30 minutes, did you make more that you made in an hour or more than you made in a day?
It's something like in 30 minutes, I made like probably $16, $17.
Nice.
Which is, if it had been an hour, it would have been like 30 something. Oh yeah. Instead of 8.
And then did you go back to Burger King or did you just never show back up?
I don't remember if I showed back up. I might not have. I might have gone back a couple more times. I think I didn't show back up. Once I used to calculate exactly how much I would bring home. And once I got that 20-cent raise that made me bring home less, I was like, I don't think this is it. I'm like, how did I go into another tax bracket from 20 cents? I'm like, I don't think so. I'm like, it was. I don't know if I showed back up. It's, 3 hours there, 3 hours back.
That's a lot.
Yeah,
that's a lot. Now, you were saying, though, you come from a musical family. That's kind of your background. Tell me a little bit about that.
So, my dad's a DJ. And he actually started when he was younger. He had his side hustle selling tapes. I don't know if you remember what tapes are. Tapes.
Cassette tapes?
Yeah, cassette tapes.
Oh, I know what tapes are. I grew up on tapes.
I don't know if anybody remembers those back in the day.
Yeah.
I used to
CDs, 8-tracks.
Yeah.
I'm not old enough for 8-tracks.
I'm not me neither. I've never physically seen one. It would be like a legendary item to me. Yeah. But he was selling tapes, and he sold them for a certain amount, like $5 for one side. And like you can get a 90-minute for 15 and be double-sided with a custom mix. So he's really, he's a scratcher. He scratches and stuff. Like he's not just
play the song,
play the song, and maybe hit a button here and there. No, he has like actual serranos and techniques.
Yeah.
For that, let's say my great uncle, which would be my grandmother's brothers, my great uncles, they all played something, either drums, bass guitar. It's in the family. They could have had their own band.
Oh yeah,
they really could have. I don't know why they didn't do that. But they really could have.
Yeah.
Like, we do have the family that would have wanted to do that too. So
yeah.
But yeah, it's and then my grandmother sings in the choir, and she's always sung and everything.
Wow. So it's in your blood, is what you're saying.
Yeah. It's
you had no choice.
Yeah, I really did. I really did. Like it's, when you start thinking of the world in the sense of music more and more, like in vibes, and as people would say it, you're just like, okay, I think I'm made for this thing.
Yeah. That's cool. And BlackGuy WhiteViolin, what was the driving force that got you that name? It sticks out. It's easy to remember.
Yeah, because I don't think I ever did go back, by the way, to Burger King. I really don't remember another day.
Yeah.
I think I went back to pick up a check, and I got a ride out there. I didn't take the bus.
That's nice.
But I do remember some days like that where I was playing after a while, and it was very, very hot. So there was one day where I had my shirt off, everything just sweating, and I'm like, it's got to be so crazy. People driving by and seeing this black guy playing a white viola on the side of the street.
Yeah.
BlackGuy white viola. At the time, it was viola.
Yeah.
Until I eventually got a violin, and so I'm just like, that makes sense, because if you're just like, I saw this guy on the side of the street, he was playing like a violin, what looked like a violin, so it might as well be a violin. And I don't know. Like, it's like, well, what did he look like? It was a black dude, and it was a white violin.
Yes.
Like, it's a black dude and a white violin. I feel like if you search this on Google, you might get it. Like,
I've never seen a black guy street performing with a white violin. I've never seen it. Never.
I know. There's a few more who I've seen. They're not called that. Mine is like the generic, I guess, catch-all name.
Yeah.
But there's a few more who have them. They're not super. It's not common to have a white violin, but they don't call themselves that specifically. It's like,
no, I'm just saying I've never seen it in my experience, like a street performer black with a violin. I've never seen it.
Yeah. I've seen it. I didn't see it until after I did it.
Okay.
Yeah, I met some guy in Daytona. I can't remember his name. I know his name's on my phone, but he was out there killing it with this guy who was playing a guitar. I mean, I got to jam with him for a little bit.
Nice.
People were like, whoa. Like, they said, when I passed by him, this guy said the same thing that someone else said about me. They said, man, he got that thing talking. And that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to make it sound like every articulation to make it literally speak, almost like, Yeah. I mean, I know trumpeter Val. So he's a guy who plays trumpet. He comes by with his dogs a couple times. He'll be in Florida one day and Texas the next day. So it's hard keeping up.
So he goes around.
Yeah, he goes around. And I don't know if he's not from New York or if he used to live in New York, but I'm pretty sure he goes up there too. But he just started on violin, and he picked it up so fast.
The trumpet guy.
Yeah, the trumpet guy. He's real good at trumpet. Uh-huh. But then he picked up violin, and I'm just like, I think you kind of got it, because violin's it's one of the more difficult instruments. It's a very, like, I don't know if you've heard of a theremin. Mm-hmm. So it's like a board and a stick, and it's that. It sounds like a space. It sounds like an alien or something.
Yeah.
That one, it's just based on where your hand is in the air.
Okay.
And that's kind of, violin's a little bit like that too. Like, which string you're on depends on where your hand is. And if you're further up the bow, you have to do this in comparison to this.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a lot of nuance, no frets. And I've tried guitar. I don't hate it. I just don't like it because of the frets and because it's also tuned to a fourth instead of a fifth. But it's a difficult instrument. It's a challenge.
Now, have you ever jammed with a guy that plays trumpet?
Yeah.
Oh, you got that.
That's
cool. Would you say it's pretty, like, in the community of street performers, it's like, they're pretty, like, there's a little bit of camaraderie? You can play together? Yeah. Not like competition necessarily?
No, not really. No, I've only had competition, like, not competition exactly, but like weird with, like, I've only had weird experience with, like, usually drunk people or people on something. Yeah. And sometimes they're homeless, sometimes they're not. But no real competition. Like, there'll be some times where it's just like, you want this spot to, come and jam out, or we'll jam out together, and I'll be like, you have that spot now.
Nice.
Yeah. When I was in Ybor, they would try to rotate so that everybody was, because I don't know if you've heard of Ybor City.
No.
It's the historic district of Tampa.
Okay.
And it's where the clubs are.
Nice.
This largely where the clubs are. Maybe there's a theater there, bunch of restaurants, and then historic restaurants and historic shops.
Yeah.
Central Ybor is like right. I mean, the best you can say is it's like it's prime time location or prime location on Ybor Strip. Like it opens up a little bit and there's space for actual people to like busk if they want to, and space for people to like walk around.
Nice.
So that's like a spot that most people will want. Sometimes people will say, well, someone else is playing and they actually want to play at that spot. They'll just rotate out, an hour there.
So you now though are just Palm Coast area?
Yeah, I'm just in Palm Coast right now. I go back to Tampa sometimes around my birthday, and I with a couple of people here and there who have events that consistently happen. So that's kind of going for me. I want to see if I can get into some restaurants or bars.
Yeah.
Like I was trying Brass Tap a while ago. Maybe I'll go and talk to them again. And then of course I do private events. Birthdays, I got a couple quinceañeras coming up. Valentine's Day was amazing. Valentine's Day is always going to be amazing.
Really?
Yeah, come on.
Come on. Especially if you're in an area like a restaurant, you go up to the table.
Yeah. There's that I can do.
Yeah.
I like being, this year I was part of a couple of Valentine's Day dinners, like private dinners.
Nice.
Where at least one person didn't know I was going to be there.
Nice.
So it was like a nice, refreshing
That
surprise.
is nice.
And they were done up, there was a lot done to put into these dinners. So I was like, that's pretty nice too. On Valentine's Day itself, maybe I'll make this a consistent thing, but the last 2 years I went out to Mount Calvary Baptist Church and played for a widows and widowers service.
Yeah.
This year was a brunch. Last year was just a service. And that was great because there's these people who don't have that person that was with them. And they're most of them are up there in age. Some of them aren't, but most of them are up there in age. So it's been some of them decades since their partner's been with them. And I'm like, just for someone to be there and feel like they care about it, it really helps them a lot.
Yeah.
This year I went to another church in Daytona, which was a fundraiser for the kids to like go to a Christian camp, like a spaghetti dinner or something like that. People loved it there.
Cool. So I don't want to take up too much of your time because I know you got to get back to work. But event planners, wedding planners, you want to connect with those people?
Oh, yes. If somebody wants me for an event, absolutely. There's a couple different ways to get me. I got to say email's probably the worst. Just because it's probably the worst. Anytime someone's like, I sent you an email, and I realize it's not even on my card. So I'm like, I don't know how you got that. Maybe it's an old card. But it's not as... I don't get the alerts the same, even though I'm not gonna lie, it's not in my email, but I don't get the alerts the same. But Instagram, Facebook, text message, calling, any way like that, would probably be the best way to get.
Are you on TikTok?
I'm on TikTok. I put like one thing on TikTok. I gotta put a couple more because I have to syndicate them too. Whenever I put something out.
Side note. So I use this app called Hookle, and basically you can put 3 different platforms on there for free.
Okay.
And it's a social media manager, and it can just shoot that same thing to.
That's what I need.
So like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. Did I say Instagram? I'm on all the social medias, but it's primarily because of that. I do one thing, and it just hits those audiences.
Okay.
Yeah, so... I'm
gonna need to get that, because that's what I really need. Because putting on each one and I have to edit each one is gonna take too much. Yeah,
it's too much. Yeah,
and TikTok I know is the big one I need to get on just so I can live stream. Like live streaming will open up, so because I can sit there and like figure songs out as people are like giving them to me, which would be, would be amazing. Just so people can see my work process.
Oh yeah, that would be fantastic for you. Well, I appreciate your time.
All right,
look, we're gonna get together here soon.
Oh, definitely.
I love it. You want to lead us out with a song?
Sure. What do I got for you? What have I got for you?
I appreciate it. Appreciate it so much.